The grid. A digital frontier. I tried to picture clusters of information as they moved through the computer. What did they look like? Ships, motorcycles? Were the circuits like freeways? I kept dreaming of a world I thought I'd never see. And then, one day, I got in.
Welcome, sports fans, to the Iron Chief Halo Wrap-Up, where we review the best Halo action, the best deaths, the best kills.
Jump in the air, boom, he's dead. Yes, indeed, it is a very warm welcome to you all here again at the Halo Madness Wrap-Up, as we look at some of the hottest action to come out of the Dine Street Sunday Night Halo match. And once again, I am joined in the commentary box by my esteemed comrade, the Perkinator.
And I'm incredibly delighted to be here, south of where it's supposed to be.
Now, Perkins, we've got a few things we're covering tonight.
Most important to me, we're looking at the technique in Headhunter. Now, obviously I'm not the best player, or even one of the best players, possibly even the worst player, but I can certainly commentate and criticize with the best of them.
Now, we're also going to be looking at whether or not there is a particular weapon on the map that people feel is too powerful.
And it is definitely a very powerful weapon, especially when it has unlimited almost fuel rods.
Alright, let's look at this technique you're talking about, Perkins. Damn loading screens. And back to our continuing series on Halo Technique. And Perkins, tonight we're going to look at individual Headhunter, and a classic mistake that we see players make time and time again. Now look, as you see the destinations move in just a moment, you'll see Timbo, who's one of the main culprits of this particular problem, do it. Look at that, right up in the air with all the skulls. It's a skull-jaculation! You can't miss that.
Yes, and the big problem here is you see on the individual Headhunter, everyone gets to see on their map exactly where the person is with the most skulls, and therefore going up in the sky makes you available to be shot by the most number of players.
And it just keeps happening time and time again. Look at that here. Again, it doesn't happen in a moment. This is Graphologist, and Timbo, luckily, can't get a single shot at him. But that would have happened. Again, if 3, as we see here, shows how it's done, and grouping all those skulls in a skullgasm out of Graphologist, as you just saw before.
Yes, and now we see
Perkins here. Amazing grenade throw on Graphologist, who's just flown over the top of him, showing him where he is, and look at that, it's great. But unfortunately, Poogie now comes in, smashes Perkins out of the way, and banks 5 skulls. And another thing we'll see is people hanging out in the middle here. This thing becomes filled with skulls, and Perkins again trying to leap out of there. It's not going to work. That's another skull circulation.
and you can see more people running in. Look at how many skulls are littering the field.
Yeah, Graphologist getting tons of kills here. Great play by him, but unfortunately he's also succumbing to that technique. Look, he's trying to fly out of there.
But he does do a total backflip or front flip straight into the hill himself, which has got to count for something, Chuckbuster.
Perkins again into the wall, again hanging out in the middle. Skulljaculation.
Yes, it's incredibly poor technique, and you can see here now Poogs doing what everyone should do, sticking to the ground, not getting greedy, running towards the hill. This is textbook stuff, Chuck.
Yeah, he doesn't have to get all the skulls, but he's gonna bank some of them. Unfortunately for him, Graphologist is waiting with a grenade.
When I say textbook, what I mean is that 6 times out of 10 that's going to score you some skulls.
Alright, now Perkins here, trying to come in on Timbo, but Timbo says... straight out of there, and this is technique number 3 that we're seeing here, but you may have missed it. Let's look at that again in real time. Perkins comes around the side, tries to take a Timbo. Timbo's doing no good, smashes him out of there, and as Timbo walks away, it's Maddox who comes out with technique number 3, which is hanging out near the hill and stealing other people's skulls.
Otherwise known as the Vulture. A valid technique requiring little to no actual ability.
Okay, in a big game here of King of the Hill on Anchor 9, and just look at the explosions going everywhere, Perkins. It's like the heavy weapons have a big part to play on this map, wouldn't you say?
Oh, they certainly do, Chuck, but this map is not just heavy weapons, although it's a major part of it. It's also anti-grav, it's normal grav, and it's normal precision weapons from across the map. It has everything!
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Speaking of precision weapons, Chuckbuster with the sniper rifle approaching. Oh no, Poogie, what? Chuckbuster's back up! How could that possibly have happened? Have a look at this as Chuckbuster runs in and then Poogie from the other side sneaking up behind.
And sneaking and sprinting. Mounting him and Chuck figuring it out all too late. And just as Poogs comes over him, grabs his head to rip out his spine, you see Alex coming in from the ladies' room. And he's shooting his rather precision weapon of the grenade launcher right into Poogie's back. Poogie looking more like a protective mother in a war zone, cradling his dying child, than an assailant about to rip someone's head off.
You certainly have a different perspective on this particular sequence than I do, but Chuckbuster seems just as stunned as anybody that he's managed to be recovered there from the grenade launcher firing Notman. Let's look at this again in real time. Boom!
And look at Poogie's limp body rolling down the stairs. He can't be happy with that.
This is the fuel rod cannon that had the Chuckbuster. Boom! Across the map, nothing he could do about that.
And you can see now from Griff's point of view, doesn't even look a second time, straight through the smoke, takes him out, and he runs towards the hill. He sees Perkins in there. He doesn't even stop. But luckily for Perkins, misses just a little bit, tries again, but goes around the side to take his prize.
Yeah, he's not giving up here. He comes around the side, takes that person, and Poogie, his teammate, comes in. Oh, and I think that was a betrayal there.
Yes, Poogie's certainly not having a lot of luck here.
Chuckbuster wants his revenge on Graphologist as he disappears up, but as we know, what goes up
must certainly come down and die.
Yeah. Okay, Chuckbuster here again with the grenade launcher pops up for a horrible betrayal with Death Plop, but it's not what you might expect. No, look at that, it's a clear move. No one else is in the hill.
Betrayal.
Yes, Death Plop for once on the receiving end of an obvious betrayal.
And speaking of unconventional plays, here's Bencho's about to hold the hill. This is amazing. Look, and then a gift. Perkins and Chuckbuster leaping into the hill.
This gravity will not let them separate in time. You see Perkins being taken out first, Chuckbuster, no time to think.
Kill.
Taken out the second time. Incredibly measured play by
leader.
Bencho's here.
And he gives the blue team the lead for the first time in the game. And then spins around Chuckbuster a second time and takes him out again as well. Great play there from Bencho.
Hill controlled.
And here we see Perkins and Chuckbuster laying down a suppressing fire as they run towards the hill.
Yeah, working as a great fire team here, one-on-one as they advance, and then all of a sudden,
they reveal they know little to nothing about the topography of this map.
Okay, switching to Chuckbuster here in the sniper rifle view, taking out Bencho with a headshot, moving on Graphologist, and then boom, oh, what? Oh no, Poogie from the side, a missed opportunity there, missed the bunt, and gave Chuckbuster the Fury cannon. That's gonna kick off the anger meter.
And no one focuses on the injustice of events like that more than Boogie Banger, as we see Chuckbuster running around with his weapon, and then the very first person he sees and takes out is Boogie Banger himself.
Oh, and that's gonna bump up the anger meter again. And look at this, Chuckbuster still holding Poog's weapon, jumps outside here to see Bencho, takes him out again, and look at the scores here. The blue team were quite well in front here. 30 seconds to win for them, and then he jumps up again and spots them both. And oh, Poog's gone again. Look at the anger meter going up there.
He takes out a double kill. He's trying to take out Benchy. He manages to sneak past, but he's got no backup here and really no chance of getting into the hill. And here we see Poogie once again getting taken out.
Oh, and he can't stand the fact that's his own weapon causing all this destruction. Laser from Graphologist? No!
It was so close to going off right in Chuckbuster's face, but no avail, no chance.
Yeah, and look at this, but there's 3 seconds left.
Hill control.
Bencho's taken out again, and you see the hill moves. The blue team is really going to have to pull their finger out to get back this win.
And look, Chuckbuster coming in here now with Perkins with a Fury gun. He's taken out, spins around the corner, takes out Graphologist, and with that, can he hold just a few more moments left? Yes! And not only has he given the red team the win, look at the anger meter, it's blown over their heads.
And look at this. If we look at Chuck Busters
seconds.
holding the hill in super forced motion.
Double kill.
I asked the question to you,
Killing
Chuck. Is this
spree.
too
Hill control.
powerful a weapon?
In the lead. Hill control. Hill
I think Chuck
contested.
Buster, you've really got to
Game
think of the old adage. Fuel rods don't kill people. Fuel rods kill an enormous amount of people incredibly easily. Especially Peg.
Alright, we need some way of bringing the anger meter back down now, so let's do something we haven't done in quite some time. That's right, it's time for a random image montage!